Alrighty, hello and welcome everyone to this episode of Nerd Collective News. I'm your host, BeardBrigade. Gonna be kicking off our first challenge series. This is actually the day number 2 video. Having to re-record it, unfortunately, for whatever ungodly reason. My recording software decided to glitch out during my first recording of my first video that I was planning on editing and posting today. But unfortunately, whatever reason, it glitched out, it cut it into 2 parts, and completely wonkied my audio. Parts of it lined up, parts of it didn't line up with the video. After spending almost 3 hours fiddling with it, I had to stop, and was just like, okay, time to just re-record it. So I've been building up all of this recorded data, and unfortunately I've almost washed it because now nothing lines up. So re-recording this episode, starting with our first challenge series for the channel. If you don't already know what game I'm playing, based on the load screen here, it is Skyrim, the Elder Scrolls. Now, I have been a huge fan of this series since Oblivion, and I've played Oblivion and Skyrim. I've also played Morrowind. I actually went back and played Morrowind at one point. I haven't been able to find the original games, but would love to play them at some point, because I've just been really a big fan of this. I would get into a discussion with ESO, but that can be for a different episode, because I have... I was excited for Elder Scrolls Online, but when I actually got around to playing it, I don't know, I just didn't find it was the game for me. But I will save that for a different video at a different day. For my challenge series, though, what I have done, before I jump into the game here, or actually, you know, let's jump into the game and I'll go over everything else. So I've created what a dungeon master or game master for like a tabletop role-playing game would call a roll table. And I've rolled against this table to determine my criteria for the challenge. But before I go over those criteria that I ended up picking, the one criteria that's going to stay the same for all of my challenge videos for at least Skyrim is that when my character dies, that's going to be the end of the series. So I have to play as long as I can with that character using the criteria that have been picked out without dying. I literally just have to play through it that way. Now, as I mentioned, I'm re-recording this, so I have actually done a couple different attempts, and I've added songs to my playlist of the day, and the Nerd Collective playlist. Rather than just restating those songs, I'm just gonna leave those in there as like my build-up. So when I go over the song of the day and the song to be added for the video, for the playlist, I'm gonna pick all the brand new songs, just to kind of move forward, at least for that aspect. Now, I'm sure you guys at this point are like, come on man, shut up and just tell us the criteria for the challenge. What I ended up rolling up here is the character I'm going to be playing as. So I'm going to be playing as a Breton who's going to have to wear heavy armor while using conjuration magic in the main hand, which I'm going to designate as the right hand, and a shield in the offhand. The only thing that I'm allowed to do, or at least my main goal, is to be able to do the side quests only. So I have to run around finding side quests. And I have to do those side quests without doing the main story. Unless the side quest requires me to play through part of the main story, or I run out of side quests to do, at which point then I will do the main storyline. But until then, I'm going to be doing all the side quests, all the side storylines, things like the Mage's Guild, Thieves Guild. I'm going to have to do all of that stuff first before I can go on and do the main storyline. And then I have what I called my wildcard section. That section I ended up rolling in is just kind of a random criteria or a random like modifier to the game. That is the fact that I'm not allowed to use any of my crafting mod chests. Which, by what I mean for that, is that I have several mods installed on my Skyrim game here that provide chests in one of the major cities, and it has all of the crafting materials that you need, basically. The reason for that is a time saver, because I do have a lot of mods that add additional armors and things like that, so I've put them in as kind of a play around so I can craft those armors, you know, sooner rather than later. And two, being a dad and a gamer, you know, sometimes I don't have a lot of time to sit down and play certain games, and being a huge fan of role-playing games, and role-playing games being kind of a time sink, you know, I just wanted something that would be able to help me save time. Not that I have anything against going out and finding the materials I need, but sometimes I just want to be able to, you know, just grab that material, make that item, and move on, so that way I can continue playing the game. But in this particular challenge, I am not allowed to use those in any way, shape, or form. So I can't go in them to get materials to craft anything. I can't go in them to use the materials to sell, to make money, and you know, I can't use them for, well, that's really, I guess, the only two reasons you would use them. So that is my criteria for this video. Now, let me know what you guys think of that, and what I'm also going to do is there should be, you can put a link down in the description below. I did find out in my last video I was referring to the comments below. It's actually the description below. I'm going to link a description to the website that I'm putting up, or that will be put up by the time I get this video posted. That'll have this loot table listed, so that way you folks can go ahead and, you know, head over to the website, and if you want to put this roll table to use, you know, kind of follow along with me and you know, do challenges of your own. One way I did it was I ended up rolling a dice, but a couple other ways you can go about using the roll table rather than rolling the dice for it. You know, get some paper, you know, so maybe some craft paper or just construction paper, different colors. Write all the options down, cut them out, throw them in a hat, and pull criteria from my hat. I'm probably going to try and do that at some point, and do that with my kids, because I think it'd be a really fun activity for me to do with my kids, you know, criteria for my hat, and have them help me build a challenge that way. I think that would be really fun. So, you know, let me know, you know, either in the comments below or the comments on the website, if you do put the roll table to use. Let me know how it goes for you, or how you really enjoyed it, or disliked it even. You know, things to help me improve. One of the things that I do ask, though, is that for my wild card, I'm going to have 2 wild card roll tables. I'm going to have an initial wild card, so like when you first start the game like we are right now, initial wild card table for you to roll from, and then I'm going to call it the ongoing episodes roll table, because what I plan to do is each episode I'm going to roll on this table, and I'm going to have to add that new criteria to my list of wildcard criteria of playing. And as I go through these videos and as I think of new things, I'm going to be building on these roll tables. So if you do copy them down, or you know, take them off the website, please go ahead and you know, just check back every so often, because I do plan on editing that particular post and adding more to it as I think of more criteria. Because right now I do have kind of short criteria. I wanted to sit down and build on it today while editing the video, but unfortunately, like I mentioned, I'm having to re-record this today. So without that, I'm just going to jump into the character creation here. So there's our Breton. Yeah, since we are going to be wearing some heavy armor, let's go ahead and make him kind of muscly. Most of the other criteria I'm just going to kind of throw together here. Let's see, war paints. Oh, I dig that. I don't know, there's something about that one that I just really like. You know, I'm not going to bother with a Breton nose, because they have some really weird noses. Like, you know, in case you've never watched Skyrim before, for whatever reason, the Bretons have these crazy looking, they're like witch noses, like you would expect with like Halloween. Like he's got a beak. It's not a nose, it's a beak. Anyway, it's enough of that. I guess I shouldn't hate on it too much. Alright, we'll just go with that one. Let's see. Yeah, go with those. Let's see. Nah, let's just do hair. We're not gonna go too all out with the creation here. I could probably stay here for a while and go through this. Yeah, let's go with the shaved head. And, you know, since I call myself Beard Brigade, we naturally have to do a beard. Let's see if we can find one that kind of matches. Well, that's kind of my hair color, I guess. Alrighty. So, let's go ahead and name him up here. Let's see, I'm gonna go with Paeter Longspell. It's kind of a hokey Breton name, but I don't really want to look up a Breton name generator right now just to come up with a good Breton lore-friendly name. So we're gonna jump right in here. You know, go ahead and leave me a comment below. Looking for some feedback here with these videos. Because I do plan on, you know, going through and having, you know, a bunch of different series, because I want to kind of be one of these regular things here for the channel, as challenge videos like these. Let me know if each time I should just start from here, because I mean, if you've ever played Skyrim, this next little bit is like a tutorial. So you're going to play through it, and it's going to be the same thing every time, or just about every time. You know, there's a few things that you can kind of alter. So let me know if you think I should just do that, or if in, you know, coming challenge videos, if I should just go ahead and skip this and start where you come out after the tutorial, which I will point out when I get to that point in the video, and kind of reiterate the fact that I'm looking for some feedback here. Other than that, you know, sit back and enjoy me rambling as I play. I'm going to kind of shut up now so you guys can kind of watch and enjoy, rather than listening to me kind of goof off here, going over everything.
My ancestors are smiling at me, Imperials. Can you say the same?
You Imperial bastards!
Justice!
Death to the Stormcloaks!
As fearless in death as he was in life.
Next, the Breton!
Here it is again. Did you hear that?
I said, next, prisoner!
To the block, prisoner. Nice and easy.
I like how almost every Elder Scrolls game, though, begins with you either on your way to being executed, having just been arrested, or imprisoned for some reason or another. It's pretty much every Elder Scrolls game, at least the ones that I've played. I mean, Morrowind, you start with being a prisoner on a boat. Oblivion, you start off by being broken out of jail. And this one, you're about to meet the headsman's axe and you get set free by a dragon, of all things. I guess by happenstance, really. I'll go ahead and mention this now as we kind of just run. So when I originally recorded the video, I didn't realize at first that I was going to have a conjuration spell to start with. It turns out, I don't know if it's actually from the base game, or if it's from one of the mods I have installed that add additional magic spells. But it turns out I actually start with a conjuration spell, which I got really excited for. Fortunately, it's not the greatest of conjuration spells. It's Summon Familiar. So it's a very strange starting combination of a spell. So bear with me if I do kind of like a runaway tactic It's because I kind of have to. Simply because all I have other than summoning the minion is Shield Bash. Oh, quick interlude there. One of the mods I have installed for my game is, well, most of my mods, like I mentioned, I have a lot of armor mods and help crafting mods, but most of my mods are actually just enhancements for sound or not a whole lot of visual stuff, which some of the visual stuff you probably won't see too well since I have to record right now in 720 rather than 1080. So, but I do just have a lot of just enhancements to help kind of bring you more into the game. So please forgive me if the gameplay slows down a little bit with the initial video, because I have to stop and accept certain little mod things here and there. But it will add to the audio. So I'm not talking. Hopefully you'll hear some enjoyable bits of audio. Alright, so
Give that sword a few swings too. Let's keep moving. He's still out there.
Alright. Conjure familiar. So there's our main hand. Alrighty. Let's see. Since I don't have a shield, I'm gonna go ahead and just punch these guys. But, Advar here, most of the word. Yeah, but since it's not a, since I'm restricted to heavy armor and that is a light shield, I'm not gonna pick it up. I know it sounds kind of nitpicky, but just kind of what I'm going for here. I'm trying to stick as close to the criteria as I can. Managing my mana is going to be a huge factor, though. Crafting is definitely going to be a big thing. Oh crap. Managing stamina will also be a big thing, so gotta... Go ahead, Vargo! Go ahead, Vargo! Mana. There we go. Punch the guy to death. Alright, so... What's in the cupboard? Let's check the cupboard. I'm sure you guys probably saw in that initial room there was some books that were lighted in them. And one of the mods that I do have installed, which I will probably, I don't know if I'll do it in the description below, just because I do have a lot of mods. I might just list them on the website. Is this book mod allows me to track which books I have and haven't read. Again, just a quality of life mod. Makes my life a little bit easier. Help me track some books. So let's see here. Ingredients. Oh, yes, magic. That was a bad idea. But that's the only way you find out how to do. Aside from actually alchemy, it's the best way to find out what does what. Alright, go. There's first shield. Like I said, interesting mix.
Don't you even know what's going on? A dragon is attacking Helgen. A dragon.
Don't make up nonsense.
Alrighty. And yes, I do have a lockpicking mode that does make lockpicking a lot easier for my life. Again, just that quality of life, make myself and save my time, because I have spent on many occasions 200-300 something lockpicks
You have no
to
authority.
try and open a chest, only to not open it because I suck at lockpicking. Doing the thieving, sneaky stuff has not really ever been my strong suit in games. Even when I was a kid, I didn't really. I mean, I've gotten more adept at it now that I'm older, but it's still not my strongest thing. If I do some like challenge videos in Payday, like I can do that stuff. I mean, that stuff's doing missions and stealth that way is actually not too bad. But games like Metal Gear Solid or Splinter Cell or some variations of like Hitman, I just couldn't get the grasp of the stealthy part of those games. And it's not from a lack of trying. I mean, I did try. Well, most of the time with like Metal Gear Solid, I just blaze through them, just killing everything, as opposed to just running around sneaking. So. Like I said, I've become a little bit more adept at it since I've been older, with games like Payday, where there's more benefit to sneaking around, or like there's actual consequence for you not sneaking around. So, ugh. I am definitely going to need a helper. It's so hard for me not to pick up other weapons. I'm so used to just collecting things.
Let's see where this goes.
He's gonna be like, oh, I'm so glad we weren't standing there. Alrighty. Let's go. On the plus side, I'm gonna end up with a really good block from this kind of setup. Let's go for our other areas. Oh, I've been poisoned.
What next? Giant snakes.
Giant snakes. Alrighty.
Hold up. There's a bear just ahead. See her?
With this setup,
I'd rather not.
I'm going to attempt to avoid the bear.
You might be able to sneak by. Just take it nice and slow. Watch where you step.
Oh crap. Oh, not sure how I got away with that.
This looks like the way out. I was starting to wonder if we'd ever make it.
Alright. So yeah, this was the point of the game earlier that I mentioned that I want feedback on whether I should just start right after this part because the dragon's gonna fly overhead like so. And then depending on if I went with the Stormcloak guy or if I went with Hadvar here with the Imperials, I'm gonna get the quest to go to a small town nearby and then progress from the main story from there. So please leave some comments below if you think I should just start from this point and move forward with the criteria, or you know, if you guys want to see all of what I just did over and over and over again every time I do a series, let me know. I want some feedback, just because I don't want to overwhelm you guys if I end up doing a bunch of these series by you know, making you guys watch the same thing over and over again. Because as you can see, there's not going to be too many choices in there for me, and certain criteria I might not be able to start off with right away. I might have to wait until I come out of that area to really start getting the stuff I need to start my criteria. So,
Really is something. If the rebels have themselves a dragon, General Tullius is the only one who can stop them.
oh, well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I have the first side quest. I need to go join the Imperial Legion. So we are going to go ahead and unmark that, and we're going to go join us some Imperial Legion in Solitude. So let's see. Don't have a lot of gold. So if I remember correctly, yes.
What you gonna do? Huh? What you gonna do? Die already! I can take your stuff!
Raid a Stendar while you can.
Tell you. Start running.
We got a bandit iron shield. We get really good at blocking.
Count out your coin.
Hey, Headfire! We're showing up in the back there. Just gonna quick fire those. Yay! Bandits. Here's some gold. Oh, it's a bandit small shield, but oh, actually, the iron shield's better. Alright. Let's see what else these guys got. Ooh, treasure map. What's the lockpick? to think here. Well, the best way to get to Solitude is going to be actually going to kind of the main town and talking to the carriage driver. So I just realized something. Alright, so one of the things that occurs because of a mod that I haven't sold is there's certain sets of wolves that when I come across them for the first time, when I kill the wolf or the wolves, is they spawn a mob or a monster. Well, not really a monster. They spawn a guy, and what it's for is basically that guy, when he spawns, you kill him, he drops an item that allows you then to craft a new sword. And then his thing too, where you can rebalance the weapon to be more level appropriate by putting on a shroud. Unfortunately, without Hadvar's help or some other kind of assistance, that guy will probably kill me. Since all I can do is summon a familiar and run in circles around him. So hopefully I can actually come up with another... Oh, you know what? In fact, what we're going to do real quick, we're actually going to come talk to What's-Her-Face. Or Hadvar. We're talking to the blacksmith real quick. Yes, I'm technically doing main story, but for good reason. One, because a part of the Imperial Stormcloak War campaign anyway requires me to go to Whiterun, so I'm going to have to go there eventually. But because they give me supplies that I can turn around and sell real quick, which will allow me to hopefully buy
I'd be glad to help a friend of Hadvar.
new spell from the place here.
We need to get word to Jarl Balgruuf. Like I said, I'm glad to help in any way I can. Help yourself to whatever you need, within reason.
Good, take it all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna come over here.
Well, one of us has to do something.
I don't know what you...
Yeah.
Couldn't pick up this side
An
quest.
ornament. Solid? You could? I've got some coin coming in from my last shipment. It's yours if you bring my claw back. Now, if you're going to get the sooner you... Some may call this junk. Me. I think I have a few old spell books laying about. If you want more, you'll have to go to the College of Winterhold.
Of course, he's got raise zombie spells. There. So we'll sell that. There's that stuff, so we'll go ahead and buy the raise zombie spell, because it is a conjuration spell, so.
Till next time.
So this is your...
remember how far down that waterfall is. Well, that wasn't too bad. Whitewater Rapids. Now, I'm sure this is probably really exciting watching with big flowers. But like I said, I can't use those ease of life mods that I have installed that allow me just to have everything on hand that I need to craft with. And since I'm going to be shield bashing and summoning my way through this playthrough, magic and stamina, it's going to be a huge management issue, especially early on, because you don't have a lot of either. With my conjuration stuff taking up so much mana initially, crafting potions is going to be a big deal early on here, so gotta pick all the flowers. Alright, so here we go.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off. I can't wait here forever.
I like the Solitude Shield. It's a great symbol. Oh, sheet.
Some come to buy, but others come to steal. I welcome. Take a look.
Can't buy any of that stuff. Derp. Well,
I hope that you will come to do business with us again.
If you come to Solitude to join the Legion, speak to Ricker. If not, Ricker knows clean what you need.
Tell them he didn't do it.
Position.
let's watch this, because then this is a quest later on
Go home
too.
and stay there until your mother.
On with it!
Traitor! You should tell her that her uncle is a scum that betrayed his High King. Best she know now, Athar.
You're all hard on him.
Rogver, you helped Ulfric Stormcloak escape the city after he murdered High King Torrik. By opening that gate for Ulfric, you betrayed the people of Solitude.
He doesn't deserve to speak!
There was no
Like how the
murder.
homeless guy even shows up
Ulfric
with
challenged
us.
Torrik. He beat the High King in fair combat. Such is our way. Such is the ancient custom of Skyrim and all Nords.
I go to Sovngarde.
Alright, now that I think we've gotten all of the bad things out of the way for the day.
Trouble?
You know, probably should wait a few hours here before running in to try and join up with Legion. Alright.
What is it?
You can sell off that junk at bits and pieces.
I'm telling you, Ulfric's planning an attack on Whiterun.
He'd be insane to try. He doesn't have the men.
That's not what my scouts report, sir. Every day more join his cause. Riften, Dawnstar, and Winterhold support him.
It's not a cause. It's a rebellion.
Call it whatever you like, General. The man's going to try to take Whiterun.
Jarl Balgruuf.
Balgruuf refuses the Legion's right to garrison troops in his city. On the other hand, he also refuses to acknowledge Ulfric's claim.
Well, if he wants to stand outside the protection of the Empire, fine. Let Ulfric pillage his city.
General.
You people and your damn Jarls.
Sir, you can't force a Nord to accept help he hasn't asked for.
If Ulfric's making a move for Whiterun, then we need to be there to stop him. Draft another letter with the usual platitudes, but this time share some of your intelligence regarding Ulfric's plans. Embellish if you have to. We'll let it seem like it's his idea.
Yes, sir.
You Nords and your bloody sense of honor.
Sir. Are you lost? Are you lost?
Are my men now giving free rein to anyone who wanders into the castle?
Apparently.
Do you have some reason to be here, citizen? Have we? Oh, of course. You were at Helgen. One of the prisoners, if I recall correctly. Hadvar's alive. I hope that's true. He's a damn good soldier. But he hasn't reported in yet, so he can't exactly confirm your story. In the meantime, why don't you have a chat with Legate Ricka? I suspect we might have use for someone resourceful like you. Not many survived Helgen. Besides, I'm sure your being imprisoned was all a terrible misunderstanding.
Sarcasm.
You survived Helgen? General Tullius told me what happened. Not many made it out alive. I've got a good feeling about you, and I don't often get good feelings about anything. A warrior knows to trust her gut. I'm not going to go through the normal process with you. I've got a little test lined up. Pass that, and we'll talk about you joining the Legion. Is that confidence or bravado? Confidence I can use. Bravado gets soldiers killed. We'll soon find out.
Well, I have to
I'm
say,
sending
let's
you
find
to
out.
clear out Fort Haragstad. If you survive, you'll pass.
Okay.
If you die, then I'll have no further use for your corpse. The ancients built many of the fortresses that dot the landscape of Skyrim. Sadly, most have fallen into disrepair, and nearly all have been overrun with bandits or other vagabonds. Fort Haragstad is one of the few that remains mostly intact. We're going to install a garrison there, but first, you're going to clean out the bandits that have moved in. Good, that's what I want to hear. Now go make it happen, soldier.
Alright.
What is it?
Time to go storm. Time to go storm a castle. Have fun storming the castle. That was just bad. Ignore my terrible Princess Bride reference.
Fletching suits me. It's difficult and sometimes tedious, but a well-made arrow strikes forth like the fury of a god.
Alright, where is this Fort Haragstad? Over the river and through the woods. To grandmother's house we go. This is kind of a long run.
Sorry, I was lost in I'm planning my race.
You got business at the stables?
Discover some places here. I've completely taken me off the beaten path. Backtrack here. Crap. Crap, 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 crap. Well, no, let's see. Just gonna run backwards a little bit here, and it'll take me a minute to get to the fort. It's a good opportunity to just kind of chit-chat about things. So I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I've been kind of a big fan about of the Elder Scrolls games, at least since Oblivion. I mean, I can't really say, that I've always loved the games or I've played them all. I haven't. Wish I could say that I had. I've always wanted to go back and play the ones prior to Oblivion or Morrowind, because I played a little bit of Morrowind when I was really young and I didn't quite get into it. And then when I really started to kind of blossom, come into being a gamer, I don't really know how you want to refer to it, because I'd always loved role-playing games, because I played the crap out of games like Final Fantasy VII and Chrono Cross and not even just Final Fantasy VII, a bunch of the Final Fantasy games. And, I've been a real fan of them, and then I turned into a lot of PC gaming where I didn't quite like the whole WSAD and doing first-person games, and then I got really big into strategy games and stuff like that. Games like Age of Empires or the Total War series games, and just, games more tactics and empire building and management. And then ended up where PC just kind of didn't keep up with it at the time. I could really play games too much because the PC was just getting old and it was on its last leg. Then I ended up having bought a console. And one of the games that I ended up picking up for it was the Oblivion game. And it was the complete Game of the Year edition, so it came with all the DLC and everything. And I fell in love with the game after that. I had always heard about the series and I was aware of them, the original games, but I never, like I said, never picked them up. And I just fallen in love with Oblivion, and I was just overwhelmed with it. It was one of the funnest games I'd ever played at the time, and I would still actually kind of rate it up there as one of probably the top, one of my top favorite games of all time. And just kind of played. Once I played through almost all of Oblivion, had completed the main story and was working on a bunch of side quests and the DLCs and stuff. Which when I went back and played a little bit of Morrowind, I never really completed Morrowind. Played through some of it and enjoyed it for what it was, and you know, just as you know, Oblivion, the sequel or prequel that it was. Then Skyrim came out, and as part of a surprise gift from some friends, they gave me their old gaming PC and bought me a copy of Skyrim, and which kind of just like Oblivion fell in love with it. I've dumped hundreds of hours into the game, if not close to 1,000 hours already, into Skyrim, and it's just something that I love and enjoy. The one thing, oddly enough, that kind of, I want to say, irks me about the games, but just kind of has thrown me off, is the fact that elves haven't been consistent through the series. The appearance of them keeps changing. Because in Morrowind they were still, you know, very like ridgy forehead and a lot like what they look like in Skyrim. And then in Oblivion, they went back to being this ridged forehead thing again. And then I played a little bit of, not a whole lot of, but a little bit of, you know, the Scrolls Online, where the elves, again, went back to being kind of no extreme detailed faces. And it kind of bothered me that they've, you know, just keep going back and forth on the way the elves look as a race. And it's just bothered me. I mean, whether there's a lore reason for it, or there's some kind of reasoning behind why elves look the way they look, I don't know, it just bothers me.
Think you can take me? You won't get the best of me.
At this point, I almost feel like switching over to Ray Zombie would be more beneficial. Beneficial conjuration as well. Yeah, cut my block. She was wailing on it. Come on.
Damn you!
Mr. Wolf. That was weird. My shield got kind of stuck into.
Tell you what, you start running so I can stab you in the back.
Alright. So we've got this outside cleared. For as far as I know. Potatoes. Alright, smithing area. Now, if it looks like I pick up some weird things, it's not because I'm picking up weird things. It's because I have one of the mods that I have adds some different armor sets that are based on like killing animals. Like there's like a saber-tooth cat armor set that I have, and I even have a backpack. Or a couple of different backpacks that I can craft, which will increase my carry weight. So I may pick up some, what may seem like some strange items, but they're really just to, let's go through the prison first. Really just intended to picking them up to help me craft those items later. Oh crap. Ooh, baited iron armor. Slightly better iron armor, I'll go with that. Ooh, gonna need woodcutter's axe. Always take clippers. Oddly enough, I find some of the best things in knapsacks. Not sure why. They just always seem to have, like, the best luck when it comes to finding items. For some reason. I find it to be one of the weirdest things, personally, but, moving right along here. And I am a cheese fiend when it comes to real life. Like, I don't know. I love cheese. And for the longest time, I don't know if maybe it was just something in my head or what it might have been, but I could have sworn that I was lactose intolerant. I mean, I always got sick after I had dairy products, and I don't know, it just felt that way. And then I moved across the country, across the U.S., from Arizona to Wisconsin. The polar opposites. You know, one is, 120 degree summers, and then the other one is, negative 30 winters. But I moved across the country to Wisconsin, which is, for those of you outside of the U.S., is the cheese capital of America, basically. So it was kind of funny that I kind of moved from super hot to super cold weather. And then one of the running gags before I got here was that I was moving to the land of Magikarps and death, because I was playing Pokemon Go at the time, and I was told like that out here there was a lot of Magikarps that would come out. So I got kind of excited for that because I was really enjoying playing Pokemon Go at the time. I was excited to finally be able to catch some Magikarps and possibly get a Gyarados. Got Magikarps, never got a Gyarados though, unfortunately. My phone sucked too much for me to kind of keep playing. So it was kind of just like a running gag for the longest time. And moved out here, haven't had a problem with cheese since. So I don't know. Maybe even it was just the environment in Arizona, just the heat or whatever, just not doing good for me. I don't know. War. Oh, he almost got me. And this, folks, is why you always pick up food in Skyrim. Because you never know when it'll come in handy. Alright, let's take a look around, shall we? See what goodies we can get before we head back. Magic iron. Which kind of reminds me of a video I saw a long time ago where they were doing like a live-action Skyrim. And it was a guy fighting, and then he went to quick heal himself, and it was like, hang on, I gotta eat something. And then it was him just eating things over and over again, and pausing the fight, and I thought it was actually really clever, because it's very true. That unless you've stocked up on potions, you're stopping every so often to just eat your food so you can stay alive during a fight. It's sad, but it's very true. Let's see. Low chest. And there's a level up. Some baked taters. Alright. Can you continue on this trend of upping my magic? There's that. Alrighty. definitely mission successful. Alright, and actually with heading back here, we're going to go ahead and turn this quest in. Pick up the next one. And I'm coming up at the end of the video here. Just because I don't want to make these too long, but I don't want to make them too short. So I found that keeping them within like 45 minutes to an hour makes for a decent episode. Just going to put a lot in and control the gameplay and show the struggle of what I have to deal with for some of these builds. So, luckily I didn't die, so that's a plus. Good start, I should say.
But before we go any further, it's time for you to officially join the Legion.
Oh yeah.
Speak with General Tullius. He'll administer the oath.
In joining the Legion, you'll be taking an oath binding you to the service of the Emperor, and thus to every citizen of the Empire. Changed your mind? Decided you want to soldier for the Empire after all. Well then, repeat
take
after
the
me.
oath.
Upon my honor, I do swear undying loyalty to the Emperor Titus Meade II. And unwavering obedience to the officers of his great empire. May those above judge me, and those below take me, if I fail in my duty. Long live the Emperor, long live the Empire. Welcome to the Imperial Legion, soldier. Just remember, we take care of our own. Once you're in the Legion, you're in it for life. Speak to Baron. He's normally out by the forge. He'll get you outfitted. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Legate Ricka has a special assignment for you. Tell me again why I'm wasting men chasing after a fairy tale.
If Ulfric gets his crown, it won't be a fairy tale.
Alright, so we will go ahead and cut it there. We will pick up with talking to Ricka and getting my first set of Imperial gear here in the next episode. But with that, like I mentioned in the introduction video, just a recap here for those of you who are maybe just picking up my channel with this episode. What I'm doing is kind of a little fun thing that I want to do with the channel. I have two playlists that I've created on Spotify. It's a music streaming app. So if you're not familiar with Spotify, and you're familiar with things like Django or Pandora, because I think Pandora is kind of the big one. Spotify is very similar to those, where it's music streaming, you know, tons of music, and you can make channels and things like that. But it's a little bit more manageable, I guess you could say, because you can create your own playlist of specific songs, and then with like doing it on your phone, you can you can only shuffle play. But if you have things like a PlayStation 4, or you listen to it on your computer and you have it downloaded on the Spotify app downloaded on your computer, you can actually listen to songs in order. It is a free music streaming app. I am in no way sponsored or get anything from them. I just really enjoy the app and I want to share it with everybody. For those of you who aren't familiar with it.
Welcome to the Legion.
And with that, I've created two playlists. The first playlist I'm calling the Nerd Eclectic playlist. And for every single video, I'm always going to add a song to the playlist with each video that I do. Now, I mentioned at the very beginning of the episode that I've been doing a bunch of recordings, so you may see already that there's a bunch of different songs in that playlist to start with. But since I had to re-record my very first episode, this one, I'm going ahead and just picking up with adding a song and just kind of adding it into what I already have in there. So, if I'm mentioning a song, and or if you see a song in that playlist and I haven't mentioned it, or if you didn't catch the first episode where I'm asking for additional songs, but you know, so just keep in mind that I'm adding songs in there. They're not necessarily going to be the song from the video. And, you know, it could be from side videos I'm doing, or you know, maybe I've just taken from comments below. So the song I'm going to be adding for this episode, let's take a look here. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and pick a song from one of my favorite artists here. You know what? Ooh, that's going to be... I think that's it. So, the song for today's video, adding to the Nerd Eclectic playlist, is I Walk the Line by Johnny Cash. I'm a huge Johnny Cash fan. So is my spouse. Kids love Johnny Cash as well. In fact, my not so baby boy, my year-and-a-half-old son, is actually named after Johnny Cash. He's Cash Alexander. So he gets his name from Johnny Cash, or love for Johnny Cash. So, I Walk the Line by Johnny Cash is going to be Nerd Eclectic playlist. It's a song of the video. So that's been added in. And you know what? Also on the same lines here, our second playlist, Beard Brigade Song of the Day. So the song I'm picking out for today, let's go ahead and go with a personal favorite of mine. We're going to go with Cocaine Blues. Specifically, we're going to go with Cocaine Blues live at Folsom State Prison in Folsom, California, the first show version. Cocaine Blues is, in general, just one of my favorite songs, but the live prison, the live performance of it at Folsom Prison, I think, is just a fantastic recording of the song. So that's going to be our song of the day. So that'll be added to Beard Brigade's Song of the Day playlist. You know, just like with the first video, I'm still looking for folks to give me ideas to add some songs to the Nerd Eclectic playlist. So please, you know, if you have a song that comes to mind after watching this video, or maybe there was a song that you were listening to while you were in the background while you were watching the video, or you feel like there'd be a good song that goes along with what I was doing in the video, please, you know, leave the name of the song, and if you can, leave the name of the artist to help me track down that song specifically. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have liked the video, please hit that like button down below. If you've enjoyed the video so far, please hit that subscribe button so it'll let you know the moment that I have my next video posted. I'm doing my best to get these videos out, one video at least a day, best I can. But dad, full-time worker and a dad of 3, it's kind of hard. So anyway, you know, hit that like, hit that subscribe, leave comments below, leave me feedback on how I can improve what I'm doing. You know, I learn each time I'm recording a video, and each time I'm editing a video, I'm learning new things. So hopefully I can just continue to improve from here, but the more feedback you give me, the better I can improve and the faster I can improve. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. You take care of yourselves and have a fantastic rest of your day.